Sri Lanka was just voted the #1 travel destination for 2025 by Globe Trender magazine. And in October 2023, after 2 years of full-time travel, this was our most adventurous trip ever. A month exploring this incredible country before settling in Thailand and having our beautiful daughter. This is the story of our journey, one filled with epic landscapes, unforgettable encounters, and the freedom of the open road. First, we explored Colombo with a local, diving into the city's energy, street food, and warm hospitality. Weligama was our home for a week, surfing, working remotely, and soaking up the sun. In Galle, we woke up to ocean waves in a stunning beachfront Airbnb, pure paradise. Driving through Yala National Park, we came face to face with a wild elephant. A truly heart-stopping moment. The mountain town of Ella stole our hearts with lush tea plantations, misty hills, and breathtaking hikes. Before reaching Kandy, we took the scenic train ride to Nuwara, Eliya, Sri Lanka's Little England, filled with rolling tea plantations, cool mountain air, and some of the best tea we've ever tasted. We treated ourselves to a luxury stay in Kandy, which was absolute bliss, before staying with a local family in Habarana, which was truly special, and climbing Sigiryia, unforgettable. Sri Lanka truly was an adventure of a lifetime, and if you've ever thought about visiting, join us as we take you through the full journey, every moment, every challenge, and every unforgettable experience.
Alright guys, welcome back to another video and welcome to Ella. We just spent the last few hours at a place called Chill Cafe because the Wi-Fi has been pretty hit and miss pretty much everywhere. It's been Lloyd says just miss. It's been a bit of a struggle for work. Something to keep in mind if you are coming to Sri Lanka. Pretty unreliable. Drop out a lot, but this place called Chill Cafe, it was the best Wi-Fi that we've had so far since we've been here, so worth coming. We're gonna spend the next few days exploring around Ella. So far the weather's been incredible. It's nice and cool here, and Lloyd says it's his favorite place we've been to so far, which is a bold statement for him, I think. We're just gonna see what else we can find around here. It's so beautiful, like way nicer than we ever expected, and more happening. A lot of people around, lots of tourism. It's beautiful. We woke up to the most incredible view this morning. Had to be one of the most beautiful sunrises coming right in through the window. We sat and had a tea and then did yoga just in the sun, and then had like a really nice traditional Sri Lankan breakfast cooked for us. It was an incredible way to start the day. Happy we got our work done so we can now go explore.
It's okay. Small?
Okay.
Walk?
Yeah.
Walk?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I'm absolutely loving the climate here. Yesterday we actually had to put like jumpers and pants on for the first time since we've been in Sri Lanka. And during the day it's like kind of mild, but like, I don't know, mid-20s maybe. Haven't been sweating like I have every other place we've been in Sri Lanka.
It's very comfortable, yeah, in comparison to pretty much everywhere else in Southeast Asia. We've just come to the famous 9 Arch Bridge here in Ella. It's the main attraction that you see all the photos of. We just got told there's very bumpy drive in here, so we just decided to walk instead, and it's only 700-meter walk, so not too bad. It's a very beautiful walk. The landscape of Ella is just incredible. There's tea plantations, beautiful flowers everywhere. It's just stunning.
Okay, yeah, I'm really happy we didn't drive the tuk-tuk down here because there's a full-size truck coming up. I'm not sure what we would have done. Yeah, that would have been really stressful, hey?
Yeah.
On a big hill with just cars and trucks coming at you and it's single lane. Not really sure what they do. They must have some way of figuring it out.
You don't want to do this in the tuk-tuk.
Man, I'm so happy we didn't drive a tuk. This is so steep and narrow. It would have just been an anxiety attack the whole time. Push it. You have to get out and push as oh my god.
You're so grateful right now.
That would have been you pushing.
No way.
And they're guys who've been driving tuk-tuks their whole life.
Yeah, way better than us. Ah, there's the bridge.
We're probably getting a tuk-tuk up, right?
Yeah.
But I'll have to push. Okay, so before we get into the rest of this epic Sri Lanka documentary, we just want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video and, to be honest, our entire trip, which is Olafly eSIM. There is absolutely no way we would have been able to explore all of Sri Lanka on a tuk-tuk without staying connected through Olafly. And if you've never heard of Olafly, they offer international SIM cards for over 220 destinations worldwide. If you've ever been on an overseas trip and you've turned on international roaming and then come home to see your bill in the hundreds, if not thousands, then that should be reason enough to switch over to an eSIM for your next trip. Olafly has heaps of different package options ranging from 1 to 90 days, including unlimited data in over 200 destinations, and they even have a flexible 6-month refund policy in case you change your mind. We were using the Olafly eSIM since we landed in Colombo, and we used Google Maps and Google Translate to literally get us all around the island of Sri Lanka, and it even worked in some of the most remote places like Yala National Park, where we were able to see a live elephant cross the road, and even in the remote town of Sigiryia. Honestly, some of the places where we thought there was no way we would have phone data, Olafly came through with the goods, and we stayed in a lot of Airbnbs. There's one thing about Sri Lanka, they're not really good with Wi-Fi and they have a lot of blackouts. So if you're staying at an Airbnb or a hotel, don't be surprised if the Wi-Fi just shuts off automatically. Luckily for us, because we work online and we need to stay connected, we were able to tether our computers to our Olafly eSIMs and we were able to work while we were traveling. So if you're booking a trip soon and you want to cut out the hassle of buying a physical SIM card when you get to your destination, or you want to save a ton of money and time, then make sure you sign up to Olafly using our link below, and don't forget to use code Lloyd and Mandy at checkout and you'll receive a 5% discount. Okay, now let's get into the rest of this epic travel documentary.
Today was our first time seeing a jackfruit tree. I didn't know what a jackfruit tree looked like. Lloyd said that it looks like someone just put jackfruit in a tree because it doesn't look like it belongs there. I definitely agree. They're so big.
This doesn't feel right, does it? This is not what I pictured.
No, neither.
I just thought we were just driving the tuk-tuk to a bridge.
Same.
Now we're on this like crazy
Hike.
mud hike with thongs on.
Always underprepared. Lloyd and Mandy signature.
No research. That's it. Done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, you can feel with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Worth the trek.
Well, we made it and it's pretty cool. It's worth the trek. Probably about 100 people here just waiting for a train, I think. Getting photos. I wonder if I can fly the drone in. There's no signs or anything. Scratch that. Damn. Would have been an epic shot. No drones.
Oh, is there a sign? No. There's some pretty incredible accommodation up on the hills here overlooking the train tracks. Just up here. Not sure if you can see. Pretty amazing view. I would definitely recommend looking into something like that while you're staying here.
Okay, sorry. I'm just trying to find out what time the train comes so we can wait for it. It says it's approximately 6 times a day and times vary, and it also depends on how much fuel is available.
So basically we have no idea.
We'll see what happens.
It could be any time. Yeah. We'll give it a while.
I'm sure if we ask a local they'll be like, yeah, it's coming soon. It's all tea plants down here.
So pretty.
It's like really similar to Bali. They've got like rice paddies everywhere, but here it's tea trees or tea plant. What do you call them?
Tea plantations?
Tea plantations everywhere. It looks real nice. It is a pretty epic view here. I don't know if the camera really picks it up totally, but
You definitely have to visit it for yourself.
yeah, it's like this amazing bridge surrounded by a jungle. There's like palm trees and mountains, and it's on a bend, and it's really cool. It probably is going to look really cool when a train comes past. Hopefully we get some warning so we can get off the track. We're right in the middle of the track right now. We'll try and find some stock drone footage to put in here. I'm sure there'll be some. If you're coming here, just remember that ignorance leads to suffering. Don't be ignorant. Okay, the train's coming and it's a mad scramble. Everyone's running off the tracks to make sure they don't get hit. I have no idea which way it's coming from. There's people still running to get off the tracks and it's almost here. funny, we literally had just decided we were going to wait 20 minutes and then we're going to leave. And then it came.
Yeah.
It's funny how things can end up as tourist attractions. Like, this is just a bridge that was obviously built for necessity to get this train through. And now hundreds of people come here every day just to watch a train drive past.
I love it.
They could charge entry, honestly.
Yeah. The tourist police just blew a whistle and even the dog that was sleeping on the train tracks knew what that meant. Now the epic trek back up to the top. Do you reckon we take a tuk-tuk up or should we walk?
We'll see how much they want to charge it.
Okay. If it starts raining, it'll be very interesting because it's quite muddy already. It'll be very slippery. If you're gonna come do this, I suggest wearing proper shoes, probably.
Oh. How much to the top?
500.
500.
Done.
Okay. Best 500 rupees we ever spent.
Yeah. This tuk-tuk driver's got just a bottle of Jameson.
Yeah.
Just in case.
We don't use him.
Or use him. So something that I just noticed, that was probably the most touristy thing that you can do, I think, in Sri Lanka, at least one of them. There doesn't seem to be any animosity or like frustration towards tourists in comparison to a lot of other countries that we visited that when you go do the touristy things, there's a lot of trying to rip you off, a little bit of frustration towards tourists. There isn't that here at all. It feels so welcoming everywhere. Like, the Sri Lankan people are so beautiful. They're like just something I thought I would note. Like, I've really noticed the difference in comparison to other countries that we've been to. And that might be because it's not overly busy at the moment. Maybe it gets different in a more peak season, but yeah, a little bit different. Okay, we're just about to head to a place called Badulla. It says it's about 45 minutes away, but we're gonna account for that to be double, judging by everywhere else that we've been has been double the time. It's meant to be very, very beautiful. We're gonna probably get something to eat there and just check it out. I'm not really sure what to expect. Lloyd's planned this, so yeah, should be a surprise for all of us.
I actually got given a suggested itinerary from the tuk-tuk rental place. And it just suggested while we're in Eliya to check out Badulla town. I think there's a lot of like temples and stuff there, and it's a bit of an ancient city, so hopefully there's somewhere to get something to eat, because I'm not eating breakfast. I'm gonna eat lunch, and it's probably gonna take us over an hour to get there, so I'll be hungry by the time we get there.
The tea plantations here are absolutely beautiful. Yesterday when we drove past, there was people working in them. There's nobody working today. But the weather today is just perfect, like perfect temperature. I'd say it's probably like maybe 24 degrees, maybe 25. So comfortable, sun shining, very, very blessed. Yeah. Thank you. Very big. Oh, yeah. Thank you. What is this? Ooh, like syrup. Do I eat it? All right. Oh, that's delicious. Wow.
Jam or something?
No, it's so good.
Very sweet.
Very nice.
Kitul, kitul.
What's it called?
Kitul, kitul.
Kitul kitul.
Arti talaga.
What is it? From this tree? Okay. And it comes from the tree. Ah, okay. Beautiful. Very tasty. And you made? Very nice.
Tastes like maple syrup. Or something.
Yeah, but better. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. That was so good. That was awesome. That was so cool. I just was standing far away trying to get some video of that temple, and this man just welcomed me in. Doesn't speak English, but that was pretty special. Everyone seems to really want to share things and actually show you their way of life. It's so beautiful. Okay, we've made it to Badulla. Lloyd's just looking for a cafe for us to have breakfast. The bananas were awesome, but haven't filled me up. I'm very hungry today. So we'll see if we can find a nice cafe here. Lloyd will get a coffee, and then we'll just explore around the town, see what's in here. So far, friendly people, everyone's waving as always, feeling very welcome.
Alright, we made it to, wait, where are we? Badulla. And I just need a coffee to wake me up a little bit. So we stopped in at this local cafe here. There's not too much on the menu really for breakfast though. So Mandy's going to get a juice, I'm going to have a coffee, and then we're going to head somewhere else for breakfast, and then maybe do a bit of sightseeing here in Badulla. It actually only took about half an hour to get here, which was very surprising. So we'll check it out. I think there's some temples and things like that to do. Okay, we just drove back from Badulla town. Honestly, not too sure why I recommended to go there. Like, it was kind of beautiful, but there wasn't like too much to do. There is some waterfalls in the area, so maybe that's why, but it's going to rain very soon, so it was a really nice drive out there though, so I'm kind of glad we did that. And we stopped off at that fruit stand, which was pretty cool. So we're just getting some breakfast now back in Ella. Man, there is like so many cafes and restaurants here in Ella. Honestly, this is what I was expecting Welligama to be more like. There's so many places to eat, but we just came to Rainbow Cafe, who was recommended to us by one of our Instagram followers, Carolina W, thank you. It looks really good. There's like a couch and a chill out spot, and there's vegan options. We're not vegan, but if you are, there's options for you here.
That has to be the most beautiful smoothie bowl I've ever seen.
Smoothie heart plate.
Lovely. I got the tacos. Not quite as pretty, but still looks delicious. I love Ella so much. It's such a cool little town. It has the best vibe.
How we reverse in Sri Lanka.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Again,
Lovely
come
to
back.
meet you. We
We
will.
will. Yeah.
We'll send lots of people too.
Okay, thank you, madam.
Okay.
See you.
Bye bye. Oh.
Push. Yes. Ade. Oh my god, Newton. It's fine, yes. Okay, bye.
Okay. Thank you.
That's such a good goodbye.
Yeah. No, they're blocking the whole driveway. Ooh, that was close.
Alright, we just got to the train station. We are catching the train actually halfway to Kandy from here. We're going to have a quick stopover for a couple of nights. So tuktukrentals.com, they actually let you get a train and they organise a transfer. So somebody's going to meet us here and they're going to drive the tuk-tuk and meet us on the other side so we can get the train, which is pretty cool. It's about $50 to do that, and they even leave you with a full tank of gas and everything. It gives us a chance to break up the trip, like from just driving everywhere. We want to get this train ride because it's, I think, the most scenic train ride in Sri Lanka. It's about 3 hours. So we're getting the train to a place called Nuwara, Eliya. It's like halfway between Ella and Kandy, and it's known as like Little England. There's lots of tea plantations and like really old English style hotels and stuff. So we'll just check that out for a couple of days and then drive to Kandy after that. I think it's about 3 hours from here to there by train.
So who are we looking for here?
This guy sent me a photo on WhatsApp.
Hello. Good morning. Hi. Hello. You can tell that the street dogs in Ella are well taken care of because they're so kind. And they love. Yeah.
I think we're good. It's just like none of the names match up, which is weird.
That happened last time.
This says Badulla, which is where we were yesterday.
Yeah.
Leaving Badulla at 10:15. That's not here. I guess maybe it is here. And then going to Nuwara. That's not what I said before, is it?
No.
Oh.
Hopefully we make it.
I booked it on 1-2 Go Asia. They haven't really done us wrong yet. observation class, which I mean, it must have a good view. Observation class.
You think so? Hopefully.
Hi, Mom.
Hello.
Good morning.
Mandy.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So, how did you get here? Where did you come from?
By bus.
From.
No license. Nanway. You're going?
That's where we're going.
Yeah.
So you go to bus down there and you drive back.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that's when it's coming, or that's when it's coming?
Maybe this is when it's coming. Let's just be here and we'll just get on whenever we can.
Actually, this is not your train.
Yes.
This train coming to here 11,
11.
10:30 maybe come here and you can come inside.
Okay.
Let's go across the road.
Did we buy the wrong ticket?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we have the wrong ticket, so we have 2 hours to kill now. Just gonna go maybe have a tea. Lloyd might have a coffee. Get a bit more time in Ella than we thought, which is kind of nice. I was a bit sad to be leaving here because it's so, like, the nature is so nice here. It's so lush. Peaceful sounds, monkeys everywhere. It's so lovely. Definitely recommend coming to Ella.
All right, we're back at our favourite spot here in Ella. We've been here every day, yeah?
Yeah, nearly.
We came here for dinner last night. It was really good, and it gets really packed. It's got the best Wi-Fi here. The food's awesome. The service is good. We'll leave a link for it down below because it's our favourite restaurant in Ella, and I think it's probably the most popular restaurant in Ella, judging by how many people were here last night.
Try this again, huh?
Try this again, 11:11. Not sure why it booked us a ticket from Badulla. Hey!
Hey, you again. Hi, sweetheart. Keep following me around. You sure do.
The street dogs here are like, they seem more domesticated or something than
They're way
Thailand
more
and Bali.
kind. They seem to be very well taken care of.
Yeah, they don't get treated like shit, huh?
Yeah.
Passion fruit. Let's get up.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I have no idea what he called this, but it's very sour and it's got like seeds in it. It's kind of like a small, almost pomegranate or passion fruit. It's really nice.
about 3.5 hours, which is what it said actually. Just that we, I think, got the wrong ticket. We got here a bit later than we thought. Do you need a lift?
Yeah, I'm going to mine.
Yeah.
I'm in the group.
Yeah, you want to drive?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. I don't have to drive.
It's time for bed.
Just don't know where we're going.
Okay, we're just on the hunt for somewhere to sleep tonight now. We're both exhausted. We've been up since probably 4:30. Didn't have the best sleep. And traveling is just always so exhausting. So hopefully we can find a hotel that will have a room available. I'm sure we will. Hotel we're gonna try. There.
Looks pretty cool.
It does, it's beautiful. Let's see if they have a room. Okay, we arrived in, I'm going to butcher the name of this, Nuwara, Eliya?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yesterday we were absolutely buggered, so we pretty much went straight to bed. Like we went to dinner and went to bed. We're staying at this beautiful place called the Tea Garden. It makes me feel like I'm Alice in Wonderland. It's so beautiful. There's flowers everywhere. We're just like in a garden. It's stunning. But unfortunately, the weather has been very, very wet. So we've pretty much just been doing computer work and catching up on sleep since we've been here. We've kind of been taking it as a chance to rest. But the rain has just stopped for a minute, so we're gonna duck out, see if we can fly the drone around and show you guys a little bit of this place while we're here before it starts raining again. So we better get going.
You can see why they call it Little England here. It literally feels like we're in English countryside or something. It's just like old English style buildings and heaps of tea plantations, a couple of pubs. We went to one last night, which was pretty cool. And it's really cold. Like we weren't prepared to be cold in Sri Lanka at all. I feel like that always happens. We just assume like it's hot everywhere and then you come up to the mountains and it's freezing cold. And like I literally have one pair of pants and one jumper. Mandy's, you don't even have a pair of pants really, do you?
No. All I have is a tracksuit. Last time we came to Asia, I carried around jeans and jumpers and like cardigans and stuff. Didn't use them once the entire time and they just took up so much space in my suitcase. So I took a chance this time. Failed miserably. So I'm wearing a tracksuit pretty much the whole time that we're here. Is what it is. Everyone can think I'm a little bit underdressed, but I don't care. All right, let's see if we can fly this drone, Lloyd.
Yeah, I mean, we're only doing a quick stop over here, 2 nights. And because of the weather, like, we're not really that keen to stick around. We're heading to a really nice hotel in Kandy tomorrow. But we at least want to show you guys what it looks like because it looks like it could be a cool place to spend a few days if you have the time on your trip.
And if the weather is better. I think we've just come here at a very, very rainy time. I'm kind of assuming that it is always wet here because it is very lush around, but it is stunning. The buildings are beautiful. Can't wait to show you. This is a tea plantation. Hello. Tea plantation just here. And this is the garden that we get to look out from our room. It's so beautiful. You can just see all the tea plantations all in the distance. So stunning. Lloyd's having some tuk-tuk problems here. Doesn't seem to want to get going today. Is it alright?
Seems to be just idling really low. Whenever I put it into gear, it shuts off.
Alright.
Might just be cold.
Yeah.
This driveway is so hectic to get out of because it's so steep. You have to go up and rev it all the way in first gear, but then you got to stop right at the top before you get to the highway, otherwise you're going to get T-boned by a car or a truck or something. And you got to do that like without stalling it and going back down. You gotta like take 1 split second to see if anyone's coming and then just keep going, otherwise
You're stuck. Are some of the horses wild here? No? No? Because I've seen horses just walking around town. They just roam free? Very cool. Beautiful. Thank you.
Yes, I coming from?
I'm from Canada.
First time in Sri Lanka?
Yes, I love
like
it. I love it so much.
You came alone?
My husband is actually just back there, yeah.
Right, have a nice day.
You too, lovely to meet you.
Yes, I did.
I'm just doing a little walk around by myself while Lloyd flies the drone. I just want to mention, if you're a solo female traveler, I would definitely feel safe enough coming to Sri Lanka on my own, which is saying something. Yeah, everyone's so friendly. I haven't had one moment where I've felt unsafe yet, and everyone's always said hello to me, smiled, waved, wanted to know where I'm from. So solo female travelers, add this place to your list.
Time.
We're a bit late from what we said we were going to do. But...
Said we're going to leave at 9. Oh, it's 9:20. Come on, let's go. We've got a 3.5 hour drive, so we'll be there in about 5 hours probably.
Okay.
think they're right?
I think they live in this little hut over there. Oh my god, it's being across the street. Poor puppy. There's two little puppies running on like the busiest highway. I don't know where it was running to. They look so scared. I was gonna take them somewhere safe, but they were terrified of me, so oh, my heart. Look how bundled up I am right now. I'm so cold. Just come past Kandy. We just drove through it. Very busy compared to where we've been. It's a very big city. So far, every accommodation that we've pretty much stayed at has had like a crazy driveway or a road or something to get to it. We're like lodged right in the jungle. I'm so excited to see it. This place is meant to be incredible.
That wasn't too bad.
I hope they're expecting us. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you.
Welcome to Habarana, sir.
Fresh amarella juice. Which I don't know what an amarella is, but
It's tasty.
before then we were in Ella, which was really nice.
Eliya.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
One of your favourite, I think.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I think our plan was to come and stay here and explore Kandy for 3 days, but now I'm like thinking, let's just stay here.
Yeah, how do you pull yourself away from somewhere like this?
We've had a pretty hectic, 4 or 5 weeks of travel, and we've got like 1 week left after this of driving around Sri Lanka. We've got a lot of stuff to see, so I'm thinking we just use this time to chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And they've got breakfast, lunch and dinner at any time and a gym, so this is perfect.
Yeah.
Be like a new man after this.
Yeah.
You can get a massage and stuff if you want, yoga.
Mm-hmm.
What about this breakfast? We've just been served with probably the best view ever for a breakfast.
I'm just in shock, sort of. Like, this is the most incredible breakfast we've ever been served. We had the sunrise come over the mountains this morning. Got to swim in the pool. I just finished doing yoga. I'm in heaven.
Yeah, it's incredible. When we drove through Kandy and we actually planned this stay, I was preparing myself for like a really hectic city, which Kandy is. So it's nice to be up in the hills and have some peace and quiet, because things have been pretty hectic for us the last couple of weeks. and it's going to get hectic again. But check out this breakfast spread they've given us. This is called the Governor's Breakfast, so you have a choice of like a local Sri Lankan breakfast or an English style breakfast. We chose English today. We'll probably do Sri Lankan tomorrow just to test it out. But look at the spread. We got eggs Benny, I've got coffee. Look at all these muffins and bread and what is that? Croissants.
Yeah.
Jam. We've got fresh fruit, porridge, smoothies, more fruit.
Lots of veggies, sweet potatoes, some sausages.
Something tells me we're not eating lunch today. Okay, so the chefs here have just whipped up an amazing feast right by the pool. They do this as a cooking class, so you can actually join in and they teach you how to cook all of this using all fresh local ingredients. They harvest them all from around the area and then cook it the same day, so it's completely fresh. There's usually like 1 or 2 seafood options, a couple of vegetarian options, and then they mix it all in with the curry. It takes about half an hour to cook, and then at the end of it, you sit down, have a nice meal, which I think is a pretty cool touch. As you can see, like the view from here, it's probably the best view I've ever seen for a cooking class. I don't know about you, but it's pretty incredible.
Okay, we've been here a few days relaxing. I haven't really left the room since we got here.
You haven't left the room.
I got a massage,
yeah.
And that was it. I've been fully indulging. Like, Lloyd's been wandering, exploring, doing fun things, and I've been just such a sloth. I've been enjoying it so much. But we're gonna go check out the main pool because it's sunny right now and it looks really beautiful. I think this place has just been added to my top 5. I think I'm also going to do a blog post of all my favorite hotels that we've actually stayed at throughout our travels. So I'll let you guys know on our Instagram when that goes live, just so you're aware of all the places that you should add to your bucket list. And this is definitely one of them. All right, we're just getting ready to check out of this incredible resort. There seems to be a huge group of monkeys just working their way through. Oh my goodness. Working their way through the trees just next to us, spooking me out a little bit. Our stay here has been absolutely incredible. The hospitality has been second to none. We will leave a link in the description to this place. It's a little bit outside of Kandy, so it's a very beautiful, relaxing place to come. So we're going to be heading to a little bit more of an affordable stay. So we'll show you guys sort of just what you can get, different options here in and around Kandy, and we're going to do a little bit of an adventure in the city. I need to buy a new journal, so I'm hoping we can head to the market and find one of them. And Lloyd's got a pretty cool day planned out for us as well, so take you guys for the adventure around Kandy.
There's a few steps here.
We've yet to stay at a place that hasn't had a hectic driveway or a lot of steps.
Hello? Hello? I'm out of shape. It's all that food we ate at that resort.
Yeah.
We had a good, what was it, 3 nights there?
Yeah.
Of really doing nothing. And now I feel recharged for this last week of driving around Sri Lanka. We've got a lot of stops to do, so.
Don't open this door and this glass and this
You could have walked
Have
in.
people walked through this before? Has anyone walked through it before?
Yes.
So,
Maybe old morning.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wake up and walk through
A
it.
walkthrough, it's very clean.
I'm impressed by this hotel. Whoa.
You just did it.
Why did
I
I put
almost
something
did
there?
too. I know there needs to be like lines on it or something.
Oh shit.
I can't believe you. I thought you were joking. How much was this a night?
35 US.
That's very good.
It's $50 Canadian maybe, Australian.
Look at the view.
Pretty sick.
I really love how lush the cities are in Sri Lanka. I feel like in comparison to like Canada or the US, we have a tendency to like get rid of a lot of trees and put a lot more concrete and things in cities, but they've really integrated the buildings in with nature. It's so nice. It like doesn't feel like you're in a city sometimes. It's really beautiful. We just arrived at the botanical gardens. It's 3,000 rupees each to come in. It's very beautiful so far.
Yeah, this was one of the main things we got recommended to do here in Kandy. There wasn't too much stuff we got recommended to do here. Basically this and the Temple of the Tooth. Kandy's an interesting city. It's the second biggest city in Sri Lanka, but it's surrounded by mountains, so like it's not expanding or anything, so it just stays the same size. And most of the stuff to do in Kandy isn't in Kandy. It's around Kandy. It's got a list of things you're not supposed to do in the garden. Camping, drinking, fishing, pets, cutting down trees, skateboarding, fires, music, smoking, guns, bikes. Can't play soccer in here? So I was having a chat to the manager at the resort we were just staying at, and it was pretty interesting to hear his point of view about how Sri Lanka's changing. People who have travelled and people from Asia probably already know this, but like in local Sri Lankan villages, they generally only eat vegetables, they don't eat meat, and it's all grown in their village or even at their house, which makes them like fully self-sustainable. And if they have like extra of anything, they just trade it for something else. So traditionally, like, villagers don't go out and get jobs and work because they don't need to. They have everything they need, which sort of sounds like a pretty cool way to live life. Like, you don't need anything else. I asked him about like medical. What about if you get sick? Like, you need to pay to see the doctor, and he said that medical is actually free. It's covered in Sri Lanka. And then I asked about schooling and everything, and he said that too, it's free. Even up to university is covered by the government, which actually sounds like kind of insane that these first world countries like Australia, Canada, America, like we don't get all that stuff covered, and everybody just wants to go out and make money and try and get the best car, buy a mansion, whatever it is, status. And in Sri Lanka, it's really not been like that, but he did say that the younger generation is starting to want more, and it's starting to change, and it's not really sustainable like that anymore, which kind of sucks, and is probably, I'd say, a result of social media and television, making people think that they need a lot more than what they got. Should we keep going? It's going to rain, I think.
Yeah. Make it to the temple before it's too late.
Yep. No one loves ice creams more than Sri Lankans. Ice cream trucks everywhere. Alright, we're going to the Temple of the Tooth. I thought it was the Temple of the Truth for a while. But it's actually supposedly the Buddha's tooth. Like, that's literally what it is.
So cool.
It's been disputed by like other countries have tried to claim it and stuff, but Sri Lanka's got it, I guess.
Nice.
White and blue one.
What is it?
This is our national flower, blue water lily, and this is jasmine. You know, basically people buying flowers then offer to the Buddha,
Yeah.
and this is real good thing, sir.
Okay.
If you like, you can buy flowers. They have big flower table.
Okay.
You can keep there, then you can make a wish.
Okay. How much for the?
The whole pack 500 rupees.
Okay. Yeah. You do.
Yeah.
You doing YouTube channel?
Yes.
Yeah. There you go.
What is the name?
Lloyd and Mandy.
Wait.
We got a new subscriber. Done.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
You too. Hello.
A lot of steps and a lot of security to get in here, eh?
Yeah.
There's like security checkpoint with police and everything, x-ray, pat you down. Then you got to get your ticket, have to have exact cash only. It was 2,000 rupees each. And then you can't bring your shoes in, even in your bag. You've got to leave them in the shoe locker.
My name is Sahan.
Sahan. And what was your restaurant called?
Sweet Beans Cafe.
And you just opened.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are now open 4 months and a half.
Okay, we just made an awesome new friend. His name is USB. If you do come to the Temple of Two, check out Sweet Beans Vegan Cafe. He's so lovely, really nice to have a chat with. It's the first restaurant just as you come in. You can't miss it. Check it out, support his small business. He just started it. Funny, the power went out halfway through, and I think all us foreigners just thought it was part of the show because it added to it. But yeah, we could tell because the fans stopped working inside too, but they had candles lit. So, but yeah, it was pretty funny, but definitely worth going and checking out. There's also another show that happens in the temple after. But we decided we've seen enough and it's so busy. Everyone's going to be heading there after and we're just a little bit exhausted. So, and we're hungry, finally. So we're going to go grab some dinner. We've literally just driven like 2 minutes down the road to a place called, oh, Jesus. That bus was so close. To a place called Hideout Lounge. It had really good reviews, so we're going to check it out.
I do not recommend driving a tuk-tuk at night in a big city when it's raining.
You can't get the fog off the window.
It just doesn't come off.
No, it's just permanently foggy. So sketchy.
Road trip continues.
We are just about to jump back in the tuk-tuk and we are heading to a place called Habarana today. That's how you say it, right?
Habanara. It's Habarana.
Habarana.
I've had the hardest time remembering any names.
Yeah.
I don't know if something's going on with my brain lately, but like Mandy seems to remember all the names. And whenever somebody asks us where we're going or where we've been, I just blank.
They're difficult names for us to remember. We're also sleep deprived. I also have a migraine today. I get these things called aura migraines. Makes me go like blind in one eye, but I'm pushing through it because I want to show up for our channel, and we're only here for a few more days, and I want to finish this road trip, so we're going to get through it.
I think it's been almost 6 weeks now of like non-stop moving, traveling. That's kind of the point where it starts to get
exhausting.
Yeah,
a little bit.
We've probably stayed in like 12 hotels
Yeah.
or something. Like, it's ridiculous. So
Yeah.
it starts to get a little bit much, and start to get brain fog, and sleep gets a bit harder.
We aren't complaining by any means. We know we are very fortunate to be doing what we're doing, but just want to share the reality of it. You don't always feel 100% healthy in this lifestyle, so once this is over, we are going to be taking a little bit of a slow down break, but
Also, we don't know when or if we'll be back in Sri Lanka, so
Yeah.
we're still gonna enjoy the last week that we're here. So
absolutely. So we better get on the road now. We discovered a massive spider as we were packing our bags that must have slept with us last night. Thankfully, we discovered it this morning and not last night. It's terrifying. Lloyd hates spiders.
I'm not scared of spiders. I'm scared of anything.
Whatever.
That's what we need in our room.
Yeah.
I almost walked through it 5 minutes after asking the guy if anyone had ever walked through it. Can we check it out? Started here. Way down here. Oh, I can't see Ella. Up here,
Yeah.
here, here. So we've done like 2/3, half of the country.
Yeah. And we're driving from here to there. One of the things I get worried about when we do road trips is like finding bathrooms along the way. In Vietnam, it was quite a challenge, especially on buses. They didn't like stopping and there wasn't toilets on the buses. But we've had a lot of luck. Every food city has had a toilet in it, and most of the petrol stations have had toilets that you're allowed to use as well. And they're not like stuck up about it either, like they let you use them, which is awesome. So something that'll give you peace of mind if you're wanting to do one of these road trips. Still don't have an umbrella. Lloyd and I have something against buying one. Wasn't meant to rain today.
I think maybe tomorrow onwards.
Thank you.
Put it.
Thank you.
From the garden?
I love how they do welcome drinks everywhere. Oh, this is so good. So they just had us light that, the wick with the candle symbolizes prosperity, and it's how they welcome all of their guests. It's very beautiful. We haven't had that yet. Is that a mango tree?
It's mango.
Wow. Wow. Good find, honey. Look at the size of this TV. There's like a little sort of kitchenette in here too. This is really nice.
Very nice.
Nice view. And I'm so doing yoga out here under the mango tree in the morning. I need to have a lay down though.
All right, well, the rain finally stopped, and they actually have a kitchen sort of restaurant down here. I think it's the mum who cooks all the food, like traditional Sri Lankan food. So we're just gonna have dinner here. We're gonna go downstairs and have some dinner because I'm starving.
And she's cooking our favorite chicken kotu. That's been our favorite Sri Lankan meal while we've been here. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah, we tried it for the first time on our Sri Lankan food tour with Kavid. And that was definitely the best thing we had, eh?
Yeah.
We've been having it like almost every day since.
Yeah. So this is coconut sambal.
Yeah.
It's not spicy.
I've had it before, but I've had it spicy.
Okay. And then egg gravy. Okay, it's just before 7 a.m. We've gotten up early to go do the hike. We were gonna go do Sigiryia, but the family that we're staying with has told us about another place that's just next to it, and it's way cheaper, and it's like a better and pretty much the same experience. Sigiryia is like $30 per person US, and this is only 1,000 rupees. So we're gonna go do that, and they tell everyone they said to do this instead. So a little hack for you guys as well. We're very excited, getting up early. Looks like it's gonna be a nice day. I have spent the last few days with migraine, so I have not been feeling my best. It's kind of been a crappy end to our trip so far, but I'm feeling okay at the moment. I'm just hoping one doesn't hit while we're hiking. So the family that we've been staying with, I can't think of a better place to be unwell and have people looking after us. They've been cooking us breakfast and dinner with all organic food that they grow themselves. It's been so nice, and it's the most peaceful spot ever. It's quiet. There's so much nature, like there's monkeys everywhere, there's elephants everywhere. We're hoping we're gonna see some elephants while we're here, but it sounds like they're really big pests to all of the people around here. So the rock that we're headed to is called Badulla. Probably butchering that as per usual. Looks like we're about there. The drive out here has been so beautiful. We're just on a dirt road to get out here now. There's lots of little hostels and things that you can stay a lot closer, but I love where we're staying.
Okay, so there's a monkey problem over there, so we gotta park here.
Okay.
These guys are watching, I think.
Where are they at?
You carved these yourself?
My carving. My handmade.
Very nice.
Secret box. Opening.
But it's a secret.
1, 2.
Ah.
Outside. Inside. Just down.
Okay.
Okay.
Secret box.
That is
so
the
it's
secret.
like a safe.
Great craftsmanship. You're talented. Hi. Good morning. Hello, everybody. Hi. Are you all coming for the hike? Yay.
Alright, we started by walking in the wrong direction. Kind of wish the guy selling secret boxes would have told us that we were walking in the wrong direction.
He pointed us in this direction.
I guess the entrance is a secret too, huh?
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy. Okay, I guess the hike starts with a cave temple. Didn't know that.
So bring pants and something to cover your shoulders. Oh my gosh, we're being surrounded. We gotta get out of here. This is freaking me out.
Feels like the monkeys are surrounding us. Where do we go?
I think over here.
You've very much got to sort of navigate your way around here. Just keep walking where there looks like there might be a path.
We're the only ones out of everyone else that we've seen have taken their shoes off.
We're rule followers.
Not really.
Every 5 minutes, come to like a dead end and we got to figure out where we took a wrong turn. Alright, I think we found it. I'm extremely puffed. It's nothing but stairs. But it feels like we're at the top, which is actually quicker than I thought. I could be wrong. It feels like the top to me.
We're hoping it is.
It's a lot of sky, and this is the big rock it looks like. That wasn't the top. But there's an arrow. It's red and green though.
Hard and easy.
That was a dog.
A dog.
There's a little dog up here.
Are you okay? Wow, what a view. This is incredible. Isn't this amazing?
It's pretty incredible.
Come here. Hello. Yeah. Would you like some water? Would you like some water?
Well, my puppy ran off into the bushes. There's another dog up here though, so I'm assuming that it's all good. Hoping. Sweet little thing. This is a beautiful hike, so worth it. Did you enjoy it, love?
Honestly, it wasn't as long as I thought, but it's very steep. It's not easy. I was sweating very hard. If you've got the money to spend and the time to spend and you want to actually explore the rock itself, because it does have a lot of history, like it's the ancient kingdom of Sri Lanka. Someone explained it to me, so it would be pretty cool. But if you don't want to spend that money or the time, this is pretty cool too.
Also, it has not been very busy here, and I can see the lineup of people doing the steps from here on Sigiryia. It looks very busy, so I think that's just another thing to keep in mind. We've got to have this thing pretty much to ourselves, so that's pretty cool.
We did meet a couple of other YouTubers on the way up. They were on their way down, so we'll give them a shout out. It's Silky Ron the Road. They're pretty much just doing exactly what we're doing. They've been traveling non-stop for 2 years now.
Yeah.
On their honeymoon, same as us. So give them a follow.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't watch much Sri Lanka YouTube videos before we came here.
We tried to, but there wasn't many.
I just did not know it was like this. Like, there's so many national parks. It's not what I pictured at all, which sometimes is good to go in with like no expectations.
Yeah.
This isn't really what I was expecting. I thought it was going to be a lot more like populated cities, which there is some, but like, look at this. We could be in Africa right now. We're actually going to go check out the base of Sigiryia now because we were recommended a cafe there, Soul Cafe, by USB, which is his name's USB. We met him in Kandy, and
He owns Sweet Beans Vegan Cafe.
Yes, and he was cool, man. We chatted to him for like half an hour. And he said when you go there, go to Soul Cafe, there's good food. And I think there's like restaurants and a bunch of stuff to see around there. So we're still going to go and visit the base.
This be fun, boy. T'entends pas ou quoi? Ça va se savoir. Tu es la plus belle.
Alright, we made it to Soul Food, and yeah, it's a pretty good recommendation. Cheers, USB. It's pretty amazing. Got a coffee on the way and a smoothie bowl. Probably gonna get the smoothie bowl here. Yeah. Thank you.
Wow, that looks so yummy. Beautiful. Thank you so much. How is it?
10 out of 10 actually.
Really?
Very cold. Lots of toppings. This is one of the best smoothie bowls I've had actually.
Yay! Goodbye, thank you. Always just so taken back by how many nice people there are that just want to help you out and make sure you have a nice experience here. So lovely. So the family that runs this business cooks meals for us, so breakfast and dinner. They grow all of the vegetables, all of the like chilies, the rice, everything. It's all organic, and they cook it all here. It's so fresh, it's so good.
And tonight I'm pretty sure we're having rice and curry. I think the grandma cooks it. I think there's 3 generations in the house. There's definitely 2.
Yeah.
But it's like we're basically at an authentic Sri Lankan homestay. Like, we booked this on Airbnb, but I kind of feel like we're just staying at someone's house.
Usually that's not something that Lloyd and I would pick to do, but this has been incredible. Like, really, really enjoyable. And really comfortable. This looks so good. He's so close.
Yeah, he's so close. He was just here.
Are the footprints still here?
Yeah.
So about 3 o'clock in the morning, while we were sleeping, massive elephant came in here. Is that one of the footprints? Oh my goodness. Just here. Whoa! Wow, you can actually see like his toes here. Right.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So while we were sleeping last night, there was an elephant just within meters of us. And Mango's here, he's probably trying to get these.
Yeah, those ones.
Un petit bout d'avenir sous ma peau.
So our beautiful hosts Samita and Kaushi are taking us for a walk around the village to show us everything, which is really nice. We've got some really nice sunshine. This is something that you can do if you come and stay here. That they'll do this with you, which is really lovely.
Cette chose qui n'existe pas, l'inconnu qui est en moi. Envie d'être envie de soi pour une fois.
I have noticed no matter who I've ever smiled and waved at, they've always smiled and waved back at me, and I've never experienced that in my life before. Sri Lanka, yeah. It's amazing.
They are very, hospitable. If someone comes to your place, like you will always have tea or some sweets,
Yeah.
Life is very simple. You don't have competition with each other. That's a nice feeling.
Yeah.
Like everybody help each other.
Cette chose qui n'existe pas, l'inconnu qui est en moi. Envie d'être envie de soi. Je manque déjà. Toi.
This used to be an old rice mill that they're going to be turning into a restaurant. Just showing us inside. They're currently renovating it. It's really, really cool.
Toi qui danses avec moi. Toi qui grandis en moi. Toi entre nous.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, it's delicious. Can I finish it? Yeah.
Toi qui danses avec moi.
All right, we are just heading back towards Sigiryia. We're gonna head back to Soul Food for sunset. It's a bit overcast at the moment, but we think it'll still be a pretty good vibe for watching the sunset and getting some dinner. The last few days have been absolutely incredible. The family that's been hosting us, we had the best day with them. And we actually get to go to temple with the grandma tomorrow, which is really exciting. She's going to teach us a little bit more about Buddhism, but I'm very excited for that. We're going to do that before we head off. I'm a little bit sad that this time has come to an end, but this little village is so special. I'm really, really grateful for this time that we've spent here. Wow, this morning was very special.
This is our last day here, and the family actually took us to temple, and it's a pretty special day here. It happens once a month. It's called Poya Day, is that right?
Yeah, happens every full moon. Very sacred day. They celebrate it every month. We got to actually sit down with a monk and learn about Buddhist teachings. I'm still just taking it all in. It was like just a once-in-a-lifetime experience. The family's been incredible to us. We felt like we've been taken in as their own.
Yes, Amita and his wife and their parents have really treated us like family, and we've been eating breakfast and dinner here and getting taken care of. They also took us for a walk around yesterday to show us the area and how the village works. They all grow their own rice and everything here. It's just like a complete different way of living to what we're used to, like this small village life, and I'm pretty happy we got to experience it.
Yeah, if you want to learn more about Buddhism and living a mindful, simple life, this is the place to do it. And just reconnecting with nature. I feel like a completely different person than even when we got here just a few days ago.
Mandy was sick when we got here. She had 2 migraines in 2 days.
Yeah, I was struggling, and I feel like I've fully recovered from that and some. I feel like really, really good. We'll definitely leave the link to this place in the description. If you feel like you lost your way or anything, I feel like this is a place to come to find yourself again.
Yeah, doing homestays is something I thought we would love, because we're the type of people who usually like to be left alone.
Yeah.
But we actually have been completely left on our own, but also if we want, we can go and hang out with the family and talk and learn about them, and they learn about us, and I think we're going to start doing it more.
Yeah, this has been a very, very special experience. We'll leave the link to this place in the description. Really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you guys in next week's episode. Bye. Well guys, we are on the last leg of our trip across Sri Lanka in a tuk-tuk, and we thought this would be a perfect opportunity for us to share some things that we wish we knew before we came here. There wasn't a whole lot of information for us when we were trying to plan this trip, so we wanted to make this video as valuable to you guys as possible. So here's 12 things we wish we knew before traveling to Sri Lanka.
Okay, the first thing I wish I knew before we got to Sri Lanka is that ATMs are extremely unreliable. Literally, the first day we got here, we had to go to an ATM to get cash out because we had to pay for our tour that we did on the first day. We drove around for about 45 minutes going to different ATMs, and none of them worked. And I thought it was a problem with our credit card. We rang our credit card company, they said no problem. We tried other cards, they also said no, there's no problem here. It should be working. I asked the concierge at the hotel we were staying at. He said, I don't know, ATM should be working. I then got a tuk-tuk driver to drive me around again, and he helped me find an ATM that accepted international cards, which I thought was the only problem, but it seems like ATMs are just unreliable as far as whether or not they're going to give you a certain amount of money. A lot of the time I'll go to the ATM and it'll say insufficient funds when I know there's not insufficient funds in there. And then sometimes it'll just say not accepted, and we thought we had found an ATM that worked for us called Commercial Bank, but then we tried another one and that didn't work. So my biggest tip would be, when you arrive in Sri Lanka, make sure you have quite a bit of cash on you and just exchange it so you're not going to the ATM straight away. And then if you do find an ATM that works, try and get as much out as you can. Unfortunately, I tried that and it didn't really work either. This ATM here right now, I've used it 2 days in a row and it's telling me I have insufficient funds even though I have the money in there. So, as we drive back to Colombo, we're probably just going to have to stop at 3 or 4 ATMs and find one that works. I don't know. Yeah, so that's just a regular problem here in Sri Lanka. ATM didn't work.
Classic
this sucks because we've got half a tank of gas and we've got to get to Colombo, and most of the petrol stations only take cash. That was one of the ones that we were sure worked every time.
NDB, that's HNB.
Okay.
So we gotta find an NDB one.
NDB.
Yeah.
We only get 15 cows an hour, which is the equivalent of about 20 bucks, but
That'll do us?
that'll do us for petrol, dinner, and then we'll just do this again tomorrow.
Okay, we've just stopped somewhere pretty local for lunch in the middle of we have no idea where. One thing to know about the food in Sri Lanka is even if you ask for no spice, it's always gonna have a little bit of spice to it. Otherwise it has no flavor. Usually I ask for no spicy and they seem a little bit disappointed because I think that's just part of the food and they get a little bit worried that I'm not gonna be able to eat it. But just something to keep in mind, if you're someone who doesn't like any spicy, you might not like the local food because it always just is a little tiny bit at least. This is our favorite Sri Lankan meal that we've had is chicken kottu. Highly recommend trying it, it's delicious. It's sort of like a pad thai. I guess that would be something I could compare it to. It's very, very good. Okay, now this may seem like an obvious one now, but we had no idea that we were allowed to rent a tuk-tuk here in Sri Lanka to drive around the country before we came here. We were really lucky that a subscriber reached out to us and told us that this was a thing because it's made our entire trip and we think it's the best way to get around during your time here. We rented through a company called tuktukrental.com. So they organize everything for you. They'll even drop off the tuk-tuk to you, they'll organize your license for you, and they give you a driving lesson. So Lloyd did a full driving lesson before we took it and made sure he was comfortable, knew all the rules of the road, and felt super comfortable before we set off. Also, the good thing about this company is that it rents the tuk-tuks from locals and most of the profits go back to the locals. So they make more money than just driving as a taxi driver, and they get to have another job on the side if they want to, so they can make more income. And the employees that work for tuk-tuk rental, also there's profit sharing. So a lot of the profits that the company makes goes back to the locals as well. So we are huge fans of this company. We will leave a link to everything we talk about in this video, but we'll definitely leave a link to tuk-tuk rental down in the description. Like I said, this has made our trip. We've seen so much more than we would have ever imagined seeing. You can also organize to have a local drive your tuk-tuk for you. So what we did was we had a local drive our tuk-tuk from Ella to Nuwara, Eliya, so we could take the train still, which is an amazing thing that you have to experience too, and we didn't want to miss out on that. So a local gets paid to drive the tuk-tuk for you so you don't miss out on the incredible Sri Lankan trains. How you going, honey? We're getting close, hey?
It's getting pretty busy.
Pretty different than where we've been.
Yeah, so it's pretty hectic, but I'm glad I'm doing this now after driving the tuk-tuk for 3 weeks already. At the start of the trip, I don't know if I could have done it.
No. Wow, we're back where our journey began. This is insane. This has been the wildest month of our lives. We're almost at the hotel, thank goodness. Lloyd's done an incredible job driving today. Oh my goodness, we're exhausted. But that brings us to our next point, which is the hospitality has been like 12 out of 10 the entire time we've been in Sri Lanka. Like, there hasn't been one time that someone hasn't bent over backwards to make sure that we're happy and comfortable. Even at times, like, we went to one hotel and the credit card machine wasn't working. He basically ran around the entire city trying to help us find an ATM that worked. Yeah, best hospitality I think we've ever experienced in our lives. Would you say that as well?
Yeah, 100%. Like Mandy said, everywhere we've stayed, I can't think of anywhere we've been where we didn't feel welcome. Even the one hotel, like she said, the ATM, the credit card machine wasn't working. There was a very noisy group in the room next to us, and like the owner or manager just sort of bent over backwards to make sure that we were comfortable. Like, he moved our room and everything. So even just getting here now after driving for so long, like, they gave us a drink and made us feel welcome, told us like everything about the hotel, which I guess they should, but just in general, the local people seem to be really welcoming.
Sorry, I'm so tired. They really want tourists here, and it's very obvious that they're really grateful for your business, and yeah, you won't be uncomfortable here. I'm promising you that. I'm tired.
Oh, I'm having a nap.
So I think this tends to be the way in like almost all big cities. As a general guide, Sri Lankan people are absolutely beautiful. They are so kind, they are so helpful, they will do anything to help you. With Colombo sort of being the exception. Once I guess you just come back to city life and people are, you know, back to being busy, focusing on making money, working. It's the same anywhere in the world. So with Colombo being the exception, it's really the only place that we had someone try to like rip us off throughout our entire time that we've been here. Other than that, we've only had people be kind and helpful and want to give us the best experience in Sri Lanka. So I just wanted to mention that as well. Okay, so this brings us to our next point. We've just come to a cafe called Black Cat Cafe. Unfortunately, the upload speeds here for the Wi-Fi in Sri Lanka, not the quickest. We've been struggling with it pretty hard, pretty much our entire trip. So we've had to sort of source out different cafes in different places for us to be able to upload. So it's just something to keep in mind if you are someone who works online or runs a business from your computer. If you do schedule like any Zoom calls or anything like that, it might be a challenge, or if you're a YouTuber like us, it's been a challenge. So this is a good place. So far, we've been able to start getting our backlog of content uploaded. We also found another one in Ella that was called Chill Cafe. We will be putting together a full travel guide for you guys, but just something to keep in mind if you're coming to Sri Lanka.
Alright, we got our work done. We're just headed back to the hotel. I'm going to stop off at the grocery store here. There's pretty much one main grocery store. It's called Cargill's Food City. This one's the biggest one we've seen since we've been in Sri Lanka. Honestly, they're not great. Like, you can't get a lot of stuff you would get back home and in more developed countries like Thailand and Vietnam. We really struggled. Couldn't find any like meat and produce really, so it's quite limited. That's one thing I wish we maybe knew before we came, is that like getting necessities, particularly like toiletries and stuff, I would be bringing your own if I was coming to Sri Lanka, because you're not going to find what you find back home. There's no like Sephora, is that where you usually get stuff? There's none of that here really. So yeah, grocery stores very limited, but you can get by.
You're definitely better off buying like your veggies and fruits and stuff from like when you're out of the city, from fruit stands and staying at homestays, places that have like that grow their own produce. It's very fresh and it's very nice. I just don't know if they get the best quality stuff in this type of place. Most people seem to grow their own things and be a bit more self-sustainable, so I think that's kind of why it's not good. But we'll see how this one is. Maybe it's a bit better because it looks a bit bigger and more established than the other ones we've been to.
This one looks like it might be okay. It's more in the little towns. There's not really any options at all.
Yeah, just not the selection that we're used to. I definitely think the meat selection isn't good because a lot of people are vegetarian here and don't consume as much meat as, you know, Canada, Australia. I think that's definitely plays a big part of it.
What are we here for? Water.
Yeah.
What else? There's water here.
We definitely have that here. I finally got chamomile tea. Been searching through all of the food cities that we'd gone to and they've all been sold out of it, so that makes me happy. Finally got it done.
You love your chamomile tea.
I love it. I drink probably about 10 a day.
Okay, we are about to check out of the hotel. We managed to get a late checkout today, but we've still got quite a lot of time to kill because we're not flying out till like midnight. So we're going to take the tuk-tuk for a drive down the beach and just check that out because we didn't really get to check it out when we came to Colombo when we flew in. And then somebody's going to come and pick up the tuk-tuk and we're just going to wait around the hotel for a few hours. Before we go though, another thing we should mention that we wish we knew before we came is getting hot water in Sri Lanka is kind of hit and miss. Some hotels, they do offer hot water, but it doesn't really get hot. It's kind of just luck of the draw, and I can understand that. The infrastructure isn't really the best. Also, blackouts. Expect blackouts pretty much everywhere. Every hotel we went to, I think we got a blackout, yeah? But it's not actually a big deal. Like most places have generators, so the power might go out for like 20 minutes and then it'll go back on, or it'll just go out for like 5 minutes. They'll kick their generator on. Usually it's when it's like bad weather or something like that. Plus, I think they also try and save electricity, and that's completely understandable. But just be aware when you come here that you may have that issue. It wasn't a big deal for us.
So there actually is like restrictions in place in the city to preserve electricity, we were told. There's rules and regulations. It gets shut off at a certain time because they are in a bit of an economic crisis at the moment. That's pretty well known. So something to keep in mind that it is very dark at night. Like in the city, everything gets shut off and walking around could be a little bit scary because it's very dark.
So we just came down to Goldface Park, which is, I don't know, it feels like kind of like the main park on the beach here, and we drove past it like 4 or 5 times actually when we were on our tuk-tuk tour, and it was just not good weather. So I'm happy we got some sun, and this is like our last thing we can do in Colombo. It's
yeah.
Cool. On the fence about if I want to fly the drone or not. The last time we flew it, you see it in our last video, it crashed into a tree.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
And this is a brand new drone that we just bought. So I'm like, it's the last day. Do I want to risk a crash today?
It's a bit windy too.
It's pretty nice here though.
Yeah, it's beautiful. A couple more things that we wish we knew before we came here. One being that cows are a traffic hazard here in Sri Lanka. They wander around on the highways. They're just like free range. A lot of them, we've been told, don't even have owners. They kind of just roam around. So just to watch out for them if you are going to do the tuk-tuk route, or you're going to take a scooter or anything, just keep an eye out for the cows because they're everywhere. Also, touching on wildlife, another thing to keep in mind is wild elephants. If you watched our videos, you will see that we had a run-in with a wild elephant. You're not meant to feed them. There's actually signs everywhere saying don't feed them, not to give them like bananas and stuff, even though we saw people doing that, not to do it. And they're also massive pests in a lot of places. We stayed with a local family in Habarana, and an elephant actually came came into their yard while we were sleeping and started eating all the mangoes off the trees. And they're actually a pretty big pest, and they're really aggressive and super fast. So if you see them, keep your distance. Again, if you do the tuk-tuk journey, they can damage your tuk-tuk and and you. So be super careful about that. But we had no idea that they were so aggressive before we came here.
As a side note, this isn't like one of the things I wish we knew, but Sri Lankans seem to really love Australians. Every time I say I'm Australian, they seem to be happy, and they've told us multiple times that lots of Australians come here and they're really happy for all the Australians to come here, so that's just a side note.
I couldn't care less about Canadians. It's because we don't have a cricket team.
Okay, all hands on deck.
Yeah, I am Tushar.
Lloyd, nice to meet you.
I am Tushar.
We had two more things we wanted to talk about for this video. One was policemen. They're everywhere. When you're driving around, every 2 kilometers there's a police checkpoint. But they're so friendly. Like, we've only had good interactions with them. We got pulled over one time without a license on our scooter. So nice. Didn't try and get money off us. They're always smiling. Great interactions. So we wanted to let you guys know that the police here are really friendly. Now that might just be because we're tourists, as far as I can tell. I've said this to locals and they kind of look to me like, yeah, they're not really friendly to us.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was that there's Uber here. I did not expect there to be Uber in Sri Lanka. There's no Uber in other Asian countries. And there was Uber here. Our Uber driver was actually a policeman, and we just spoke to him the whole way about his son being a javelin thrower going to the Olympics, and he was really cool, and it was like, wow, we just met a policeman and an Uber driver at the same time. But he gave us his WhatsApp number and his son's name and everything, so we're going to watch out for him because apparently he's going to the Paris Olympics in 2024.
So cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's the last two things. Policemen are really friendly. There's a lot of them. Don't be alarmed. They're very nice. They're helpful. And there is Uber here if you need it.
Alright, well, we're about to jump on our flight. Well, I guess in a couple hours. We've got a bit of time here at the airport. Last thing I wanted to mention was just about the travel warnings. So, like, when we were coming here, we were a little bit weary because of what mainstream media had said about travel warnings for countries like Canada and Australia. Don't listen to that, because I've felt safer here than I did in a lot of like big cities in Canada or in the United States. Yeah, just something to keep in mind. If you want to travel here, or even if you haven't thought about it, consider it, because we've enjoyed this trip so much.
And the Sri Lankan economy could really use it. They used to get a lot more tourists than what they get now, and it would really help them out as well as you having a good time here. It'd help the local people out. So,
yeah, and the general consensus is that they want more tourists, so
they're very happy
yes.
with every tourist.
Yeah, absolutely. As always, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.